So the million-dollar question is my guitar in tune? Do I need a $5,000 guitar to be in tune? And the answer is no, you don't. This is a guitar that's probably worth 20 bucks. Plywood back and sides. It is a Marlin made about, I don't know, 45, 50 years ago. It had one of these adjustable bridge contraptions that somebody at Gibson brainstormed for God knows what reason years ago. I took out that contraption, that adjustable contraption, made up a little sandwich of bone and rosewood, radiused it, intonated it, and Jeff's tuning problems are over forever now. So you don't have to be a fancy guitar player to hear if your guitar is in tune. If you can play a C chord, you're good to go. Here's a C chord with a G on top. Take that form, move it up 2 frets, and now it's a D chord. Try this, any guitar, Les Paul, Strat, Martin Acoustic, Classical. And then move that C form up to the 8th and 10th fret, now it's a G. So these 3 chords, that's all you need. Another thing I do, and you've seen me do this in a few hundred videos, there's a garden variety D chord. That F sharp is not sharp. An octave higher. Any chord, G. Anyway, you get the idea. The 3 bass strings are from a medium set, 56, 46, 35. And then the top 3 strings are a little bit different. This is what Jeff has used for years. He's got a plain third because he likes to bend it. It's got a 22 plain for the third, a 17 for the second, and a 12 for the top. So it's kind of a hybrid set. But it doesn't matter because I have calibrated and intonated both the compensated nut and the compensated saddle for this set of strings at concert pitch. Another thing that you've seen me use, and I use often, is to play a combination of a 6th and then reach for a 10th, 6 and 10 together. The other thing I like to use is the interval of a minor second or minor 9, so the distance between these 2 strings, if I play them together, they sound like they're out of tune, right? But when you play them in the context of an arpeggiated chord, a lot of customers initially, when I tell them, you really want to get a compensated nut, their response will be, well, I don't play any fancy chords. I'm not a jazz guy or classical. I just strum G, C, D. Well, if you're playing in the first 3 frets, you need a compensated nut more than most. After you intonate the bridge like everybody does, open string, 12th fret, right, all the way across, adjust your bridge, and then strum G, C, D, and see if that D chord, see if it's in tune. those first position chords are the ones that need the most attention. And the reason for that is the guitar by design, the nut needs to be high enough for the strings to clear the frets. So what happens is the closer you get to the nut, in other words, first position, you're going to have more displacement at pitch. Those notes will be sharper because you have that back tension because of the elevated strings that need to clear the whole fingerboard. This is why in a lot of cases, people will use a capo. When you put a capo on, you really eliminate a lot of those tuning problems. All those first position chords, if you put the capo on 3rd, 4th, or 5th fret, those chords tend to sound much more in tune than they do in the open position. Anyway, the point I was trying to make is when you set the guitar up properly, you get a $20 guitar that intonates like a $5,000 guitar. When the guitar is not set up properly, then you get a $5,000 guitar that sounds like a $20 guitar. Once again, I make my point. Is your guitar in tune? Is it the tuners? Do you need a roller contraption on the headstock of your Les Paul? Do you need to change the bridge? In 99% of the cases, I would say no, you don't. So the real question to ask, is my guitar calibrated? Does it play in tune at all times? That's the question, not can I get my guitar in tune or why does my guitar go out of tune? The big question is, was it ever in tune to begin with? And the answer, in the case of this $20 guitar, it's perfectly in tune. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.